Welcome back to my channel, Niki and the Kitchi. We are finally back after a little hiatus I took for the holidays. So I wanted to come up with a recipe that was easy because I don't know about you guys, but I just came back from a trip, still catching up and getting used to my routine, and so the last thing I want to do is make a super intricate recipe. So our ingredients for this veggie burger: 1 can of black beans, which is about 15 ounces, I believe, just a regular sized can. Then we've got 3/4 of a cup of cooked quinoa. We've got 3/4 of a cup of shredded carrots, and this was about 3 medium-sized organic carrots to make this amount. We've got 1 tablespoon of ground flax seeds, which is really gonna hold everything together because this is vegan. It's about 2 tablespoons of coconut oil when we're going to fry these veggie burgers in a pan. And now we're on to spices. Pink Himalayan salt, of course, to taste however much you want. Probably I'm gonna start with about a teaspoon and see how it goes from there. Black pepper as well, about a teaspoon. This is also just for your own taste preference. We're gonna use a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of ground cumin, and 1 teaspoon of chili powder. I want to remind you guys to please subscribe to my account if you haven't already, and share this, tell your friends to subscribe. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. The star of this recipe is a food processor. If you don't have one, maybe a blender could do it as well, but really a food processor is gonna be the best bet. Basically, all we're gonna do is add everything in, mix it together, form it into patties, and fry it up. So that's as easy as it is. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pour in our black beans. I'm gonna add in the shredded carrots. And I'm just going to pulse this together just to make sure that it gets combined before adding some more stuff in there. Since there's no liquid in it, sometimes you want to take it out, mix it together a little bit. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and add in our ground flax seeds, which is going to act as an agent that will hold the ingredients together. And now we're going to take this out and transfer it to a bowl that we can combine the rest of the ingredients with. So when I mixed together the beans, carrots, and flax seeds in the food processor, I didn't let the beans get completely emulsified because we do want to have a little bit of texture inside of this veggie burger. And then we're also going to add in some salt, 1 teaspoon of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of cumin, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. I will some black pepper in there as well. That's all our ingredients, and we're just going to mix this together to form our patties. Now that all of our ingredients are combined, we are going to start making the patties. So I just have a large spoon. I'm going to take a big spoonful and shape it into just a regular patty shape. So like any veggie burger, we're just going to, in kind of like a flat disc. In this recipe we'll make 4 patties, so we're gonna make 4 rounds. And now we're going to fry them on my pan behind me. I've got a non-stick pan that I'm turning on to medium to low heat, and I'm going to go ahead and put 2 tablespoons of coconut oil inside of it to melt. So I let my pan heat up the oil a little bit, and now it's ready to put in the patties. I'm just gonna slowly put in each patty on the frying pan. Make sure you distribute the oil evenly around the patties. And just let that sizzle for about 5 minutes on one side, and then we'll flip it over when it's crispy to cook on the other side. These have been cooking for about 10 minutes. As you can see, they are nice and crispy. I sprinkled a little bit of sea salt on them to draw out some of the extra moisture, and they are ready for assembly. I took the veggie burgers off of the stove. They are done and crispy and yummy, so I'm excited to put this together. As far as our toppings for the burger, it's gonna also stay pretty simple. I've got some whole grain sprouted hamburger buns that I already have buttered with some vegan butter, and I put it on on the stove to get a little crispy. If you have a toaster oven, you can do that, or just toast them in the toaster. I'm just gonna make 2 today because I don't want them to get soggy. This is gonna be for my meal prep this week, so I'm gonna kind of make them as I go. I have previously made a homemade beet hummus that I'm going to add to this burger, and the recipe for this hummus is going to be on my Instagram. So head over there, grab this recipe so you can incorporate it into our burgers. We've also got some pickled red onions that I made this morning as well. This is also very easy to make, and I will put a little blurb on how to make this in the comments so you guys can incorporate this into your recipe as well as salad. We've got some organic baby spinach, some microgreens that I'm going to add to the top of the sandwich as well. I really like the tenderness that microgreens give. And finally, I've got some edible flowers that I'm going to use in this burger. Honestly, I'm using it partially just because it's pretty. I think edible flowers are really fun to work with, and it's kind of that extra step. So this is definitely not necessary, but if you want to make this picture perfect and delicious, go ahead and add the flowers as well. So we're just going to go ahead and assemble a small handful of the baby spinach. Of course, you can use whatever sauces you want to. A big glob of this beet hummus. Set that right on top of our spinach. I'm gonna put a little bit more because it's that good. With a spatula, be very careful and transfer one of our veggie patties onto our burger. Now I'm going to take some of our freshly pickled red onions. Make sure you drain it really well, otherwise it'll be soggy up in here. And then we're just gonna top it with a fresh big handful of these microgreens. And then top with your bun. Now you can go in and strategically place a few pretty edible flowers. Okay, next one. It is so pretty. Let's try this baby out. It's so good. It's like tangy in all the right places from the pickled onions and the beet hummus. Got that crunch from the spinach and the microgreens. And then the black bean burger with the quinoa really has a nice texture to it. Overall, this is so good. So that's all for today, but stick around. I will be posting a new video very soon, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.